everyone, welcome back to Utility Sports. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button if you do enjoy what you see here in today's video. And also, if you've been watching our vids, smash that like button. Lets me know I'm doing a good job here at Utility Sports covering all things NBA. And we've got big news here coming from Marc Stein, a very reputable and a person who has been reporting for a long time. He has over 1 million followers on Twitter. Go give him a follow yourself. He's reporting this here. I'm just giving my honest reaction and opinion to it, so make sure to go give him a follow as well. And here he tweets, momentum is building toward an imminent DeJounte Murray trade, league sources say. And he has a lot of league sources. He has a lot of insiders. Known suitors are the Hawks, Knicks, and Timberwolves. We're going to talk about those three teams and potential fits for DeJounte Murray, and what I also think could be a realistic asking price for the Spurs guard. And I think a lot of people don't really understand how good DeJounte Murray has become in the most recent time. He is a phenomenal guard. He really is, and someone who is really talented. 21, 8, and 9 this past year on efficient scoring. People don't realize that those were the numbers that DeJounte Murray had this past season. He's someone who's going to be highly impactful on both ends of the floor. He can lead an offense, can also put the ball in the hole. That's really where we've seen a ton of growth from him since he was drafted by San Antonio, what feels like forever ago, honestly, with how fast the league has just been moving. It's insane. And you look at teams that make sense. Let's talk about the first team named there, the Atlanta Hawks. They were rumored to maybe making a move on draft night. They had pick number 16, ended up with AJ Griffin. They could still use his draft rights in a trade if they wanted to. But why would San Antonio want to make a deal with them? It's not going to be simply because of AJ Griffin. It's not going to be simply because of John Collins. It would be a culmination of everything. They're going to want Griffin. They're going to want Collins. They're going to want maybe even Capella in a deal. And then they're going to say, and give us a whole bunch of draft picks. For San Antonio to move off of DeJounte Murray, it is going to take a lot. The asking price reportedly has been around Drew Holiday level. And honestly, I think he's well worth that. And he might even be worth more than what Drew Holiday got traded for. When you're looking at his size, frame, skill set, the ability to impact winning, he does a lot of it. The Spurs were in the play-in this past year. And quite frankly, with how young they are, they didn't have any business being there. So DeJounte Murray's a huge get, and he would be the perfect guard to put next to Trae Young, which is why I think the Knicks right now are trying to make a play to sign Jalen Brunson and trade for DeJounte Murray all in 1 week. Now, what would the Knicks be willing to give up? Well, obviously, you're going to cross off RJ Barrett. I think that the Spurs would say gross to any Julius Randle offers, and I don't think the Knicks would say, yeah, we're going to try and win. Let's trade Julius Randle. I just don't think that really makes sense for either side. So maybe Emmanuel Quickley, which I know Knicks fans are going to say, no, we're not doing that. DeJounte's way better than Emmanuel Quickley, even though I really like Quickley. I also really like Obi Toppin. He would have to go to San Antonio, and then probably 2 firsts, 3 pick swaps, something in that realm that gives San Antonio a lot of flexibility. And that's to even get in the door to have these conversations. To realistically get a deal done, you're going to have to give up probably even more than what I just mentioned in that package. And then when we go to a team in the Minnesota Timberwolves, it makes sense why they're rumored in this. D'Angelo Russell, playoffs weren't kind to him. And even though he's a big reason why they beat the Clippers in the play-in game to get there, he's been a big part of really helping that franchise establish itself again. The league is not kind to anybody. It's a business. So ultimately, if they think that they can improve, and if Tim Connelly, who just came in as their new president, feels like, hey, we can get better here making this move, which, by the way, they would get a lot better, DeJounte is going to be what they target. And you're going to see D'Angelo Russell go out the door in that, back to San Antonio. Probably from Minnesota's perspective, you're going to have to see 3 first-round picks go out the door, maybe 2 or 3 pick swaps, and you're going to have to add some other stuff. You're going to have to throw in Jaden McDaniels, which I know Wolves fans are going to say, no way. I'm sorry, DeJounte Murray's way better than anyone that the Wolves are going to be willing to give up. The Wolves, the idea here is to have Ant, Cat, and DeJounte. And if that's your goal, you have to be willing to part with almost anybody else that they ask for, and you're not going to get hung up on your 6th or 7th best player being the finagling part of a trade to get an all-star level guard, which is what DeJounte Murray is. And that's what we have to remember. He's an all-star. You're not going to worry about the guy who's coming off the bench that you think, oh, his potential's there. Yes, I like Jaden McDaniels. Yes, I think McDaniels could be a good player. I thought so when he came out of Washington. The reality, though, DeJounte is just a lot better than him. So There comes a fine line of how much depth you have to sacrifice, how many assets are going out the door, and you have to figure some of those things out. But if you feel like DeJounte Murray moves the needle for you, you go ahead and do it. Again, my kind of generic observation here on what his price point is going to be: 2 or 3 first-round picks completely unprotected, or, you know, very light protections, maybe like top 4 protected. Then you look at 2 or 3 pick swaps in addition. So we're looking at 4 to 6 total draft assets, not including second rounders. You could see a variety of second rounders thrown in, and 1 or 2 good young players. That is kind of the asking price I think San Antonio is going to be looking for. And the fact that we have multiple teams right now in a bidding war essentially between New York, Minnesota, and also Atlanta. It seems like Washington has pulled out of that race after getting Monte Morris today. Ultimately, though, they're going to be aggressive looking for moves, and the San Antonio Spurs don't have any reason to force him out. He's young, he's very talented, he could fit their timeline. They don't need to trade him. They're going to do it if they get a price that they believe is beyond his talent level, not just requisite for it. They're not looking for a fair trade. They're looking for a trade that they're going to win. Let me know in the comment section where you think ultimately DeJounte Murray goes. I'm excited to see how this all plays out. DeJounte Murray, one of the better young guards in this league. We'll see if he's playing on a different team next season. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more. We'll catch you in the very next Utility Sports video.